Good job, Boris. Now you can go chase Poltergeist to your heart's content. Dracacorn, would you please take him? Bye. Why, hello! I totally did see you there. You see, I have eyes in the back of my hat. Welcome, mortals, non-mortals, aliens, to the very first episode of Witch's Brew. I'm Ollie, and this is my lair. Before we begin this shindig, a little bit about myself. Cue the film! When I was a little girl, I tried the whole princess thing for a spell, but then I came across something way cooler. Thanks to 90s TV, I found witches. Sabrina, Marnie, and Wendy were my heroes. I was fascinated by how they could go on adventures across realms and use magic to solve their everyday problems. Those gals will forever be my heroes, but then I came across a movie that would change my life forever, Kiki's Delivery Service. What really struck me about Kiki was that her true power came from within herself, not any spell or wand. She was adventurous enough to travel to new places and kind enough to get to know the people and want to help them. And so, inspired by the pop culture witches that I grew up with, especially Kiki, I decided to hop on my own broom and find adventures through travel, history, culture, and so much more. And I'm inviting you to come along for the ride. This is Witch's Brew. Welcome back. Since it's the first episode and all, I thought it only fitting to start on my favorite day of the year, Halloween. That's right, folks. Today we will be discussing the history of Halloween, specifically the origin of our favorite Halloween traditions. To begin with, we shall consult the crystal ball to debunk some myths in a segment I like to call Plain Talk or Poppycock. Number 1. Halloween is an American holiday. And the verdict is Poppycock. Would you believe me if I told you that St. Patrick's Day isn't the only Irish holiday we celebrate here in America? Well, it's true. Halloween is an Irish holiday. More specifically and accurately, Halloween is a holiday of Celtic origin. When the Irish immigrated to America, they brought their traditions with them, and they have evolved into the holiday that we know today. Number 2. Halloween is satanic. I don't want to, it's so dumb.
I don't care. You have to do it, okay?
It's so stupid.
You're the one who wrote the list.
Fine. Sorry about that. It's just that this one's kind of one of my pet peeves. And it's poppycock. Hogwash, in fact. See, I'd get this a lot when I was a kid. Oh, Olivia, I can't believe you celebrate the devil's birthday. And it's just not true. Halloween originates from the Celtic holiday of Samhain, which marks the end of summer and the time of harvest. This devil myth may have something to do with the druids or priests that led these celebrations. There were myths that said that they would have human sacrifices to ensure good harvest. This is also untrue. You see, it was widely believed that during Samhain, the dead could return to the earth, so they did conduct sacrifices, but in the form of burning crops, and it was to honor the dead. Halloween would later become a Christian holiday. The church wanted to convert the pagans and tried to make Samhain a Christian holiday, changing its date to the 13th of May, in an attempt to end the aforementioned fire festivals. This attempt by Pope Boniface in the 5th century did not work, and was not until the 9th century that Pope Gregory brought Samhain back to its original dates and declared it All Saints' Day, or All Hallows' Day. The vigil on the night before was known as All Hallows' Evening, then All Hallows' Even, eventually Halloween. The celebration consisted of 3 days from October 31st to November 2nd, known as the All Hallowtide or All Hallow Mass. During this time, prayers would be offered to the dead, namely those in purgatory. So, you see, Halloween is not about honoring the devil. Be it pagan or Christian, it's about honoring the dead. Number 3. Halloween was created by the candy companies. Well, here's the thing about this one. It's kind of both. It's poppycock in that the candy companies created Halloween, because as we know, it originated from the Celtic festival of Samhain. However, it is plain talk that these companies shaped Halloween into what it is today. But it wasn't just the candy companies. Halloween candy and trick-or-treating as we know it didn't come into play until the 1950s, but more on that later. When the Irish came to America, they brought with them their traditions of Samhain and All Hallows Day, and Americans started picking them up. Unfortunately, there was one custom that would cause concern. This was, of course, Mischief Night, the night before Halloween festivities in which all sorts of pranks and havoc would ensue. Some of it was harmless, like soaping windows, but other pranks were serious, like setting buildings on fire. In order to tame the troubled youth, parents started organizing Halloween parties with all sorts of fun activities to keep the youngsters entertained and out of trouble. Soon the adults would want to join in on the fun and started planning these elaborate Halloween soirees. This gave a paper company called Denison the idea to write a party guide called a Bogey Book, which included everything from party games to decorations and even DIY costumes that you could achieve using their very own crepe paper. The original Bogey Book was created in 1909 as a sort of prototype for test audiences, and then they were produced annually starting in 1912. They made bank. Soon costume companies would follow suit as well as the famed candy companies. It just so happens that I used the spell of Amazon Prime and conjured one up. This particular one is from 1924 and has both Halloween and Thanksgiving ideas. I got one because I've decided to try some of these vintage Halloween activities for myself, along with some of my friends. Angel! Go summon our friends, please. In the meantime, we shall talk a little bit about how trick-or-treating came into the mix. But for that, we must make our way to the Witch's Kitchen! See you there. Well, hello. Welcome to my kitchen. While the cauldron boils, let's talk a little bit about trick-or-treating. As we know, the church started taking over pagan holidays and spreading religious values of generosity, especially during the holidays. Beggars caught on to this and saw it was a good time to beg for money and food. The church caught on to this and started passing out soul cakes. Souling was particularly special during the All-Hallow-Tide because soul cakes were given in exchange for prayers for the dead in purgatory. When this Celtic tradition of souling made it to the U.S., and Mischief Night caused Halloween to become more about organized activities and got more commercialized, souling became trick-or-treating, and the exchange was not for the dead, but for protection from tricks. Now, before my guests pull a trick on me, let's go make some soul cakes. Time for ingredients! Woo! We're gonna need 1 cup of sugar, 3 cups of flour, 1 cup of butter, 2 tablespoons of milk with a little vanilla extract if you want to get a little crazy, 2 egg yolks, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 2 small boxes of raisins. Don't forget to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Using a stand mixer or an electric mixer, cream the butter and sugar together in a bowl until light and fluffy. Then you're going to whisk in the egg yolks. Add the flour and spices, and then enough milk so that you have a dough that holds together. Then you're going to stir in the raisins. Turn the dough out into a floured surface and roll out about 1 centimeter thick, or however thick you want it. It's really up to you. Then use a cookie cutter to give shape to your soul cakes. Once your soul cakes have their shape, grab a knife or any other straight edge and form a cross on the surface of the cake. Place your soul cakes on a greased cookie sheet, then bake for 20 to 25 minutes. And now that our soul cakes have cooled, they're ready to eat. And just in time, our guests have arrived.
Trick or treat.
No, it's not right. Soul cake, a soul cake. Please, good Mrs. A soul cake. 1 for Peter, 2 for Paul, and 3 for one who made us all.
Ah, you've said the chant. Come, children, I bear treats.
Ooh, soul cakes.
No candy?
Well, actually, Jazz, there will be candy. In the next game, we're gonna play from the Bogey Book. Who wants to play some games from the Bogey Book?
Me.
Sure.
Okay, let's go do it then. Our first game is called Matrimonial Race. You'll find that a lot of these early Bogey Book games are marriage obsessed. And if that's not a product of its time, I don't know what is. The object of this game is to carry the goal at the opposite side of the room, and a spoonful of small round candies in one hand and a potato balanced on a knife blade in the other. To win, however, all of the candies and the potato must arrive at the goal in their original positions. Well, it looks like we're all ready, but I think this game would be a lot more fun outside. And we're here. Let's get started. So, you're gonna scoop up some candy from the bowl. Whoever drops their candy or their potato first automatically loses and has to start all the way over again. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, let's do it.
Have fun! Alright,
Going down.
on your
Pretty boy.
marks, get set, go!
Yes, I won.
And the winner is Dragon Cord! Our next game is called the Cup of Fate. You'll need to place 3 cups or saucers on the table. Half fill one with water, another with milk, and the third with vinegar. Let each person, blindfolded, dip a finger in each cup touched. If it contains milk, married life will be happy. If vinegar, one's future wife or husband will have a sour disposition. And if the cup contains water, single blessedness is in store. The position of the cups may be changed before each trial. So for this game, to make things a little more interesting, we're not just gonna dip. Why dip when you can sip? And that way we can actually taste our fortunes. Are we ready?
No.
Well, too bad, we're doing it anyway. Okay, so who wants to go first?
Oh.
I can do it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
do it?
I can
Jazz.
do it. Yeah.
Okay, would you do the honors?
I shall, yes.
Future,
Can you see?
future is bright, or
That's
maybe it's bleak.
Cool.
Yeah, let's do this.
Right?
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. You can reach down. Here's up. Yep.
Holy Mother Mary.
Yes.
How can I say this, Jazz? Your future is bleak.
It's very sour.
Very sour future. Your spouse will be sour. Your career will be sour. Dishonor on your cow. Let's give her a moment.
Okay.
You crouch down. I'm short.
Yeah.
You'll turn around to make sure that you're not cheating. Here. Have a stab at it.
All right.
Whenever you're ready, Dragonborn.
Okay. Great. Just put me on like the edge of the table.
There you go.
Okay. Great. Okay.
You've already made your choice.
No. I'm gonna choose
You
again.
already made
I
your
choose
choice.
Now we have to do. No, now we have to.
We have to
Now
do
I'm
it
messing
again.
up again.
We have to do it again.
Oh, do it again.
To make it fair.
Do it again. Yeah. Okay.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Okay. I choose this one.
Okay.
That's good. Is it the milk?
It's the milk.
Ah! How honestly delightful and lovely. That
You
is
know, I'm not sure if your
mm.
fortune was too accurate on this one, considering
very sweet.
we kind of gave it away and you cheated.
Mm.
To make sure that you're not cheating.
So I think you should go one more round. What do
One
you
more
think,
round.
Jazz?
One more round.
This is okay.
Go for it. Is that your selection?
This is my selection.
Okay.
I'm so scared.
I guess you're gonna have a bittersweet future. Do you need a second? Are you okay there, Dragonhorn?
Oh.
Do you feel that justice has been
I feel
served?
good. I feel great, actually.
Oof. I feel like everything I eat after today is like ruined.
Well, I'm sorry. Not too fond of vinegar, though. I select. Holy banana.
It's bad, right?
Honestly, though, it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It smells worse than it is.
You're a savage.
Wow, alright. Well, that was terrifying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything
Wait,
less?
So that means I have a bleak future.
Yeah.
Well, that's not too great.
Hey, at least we will all suffer apparently together.
At least we have each other.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to the next game. Our next game is called the fortune telling game. On plain squares of white paper, write with baking soda mixed with water, fun little fortunes. Wait till dry, then shuffle. Then round up your guests and go from guest to guest with a lighted candle. Each may know their fortune by holding the paper above the candle. The heat from the blaze will turn the written word brown. Pro tip, to make writing the fortunes easier, use a Q-tip. Handle fire with caution. Alright, on to our next game. So I'm going to shuffle these fortune cards. And then my friend the Dragoncorn is going to light the candles and reveal our fortune. Let's get started.
Middle.
Yeah.
This one's mine.
Just gonna. All right. Allow me
Alright.
to light the candles.
Nice.
All right.
Good job, Dragon Hybrid.
Oh, hot wax, hot wax.
Hot wax.
How X indeed.
Hot.
We best hurry.
Yes.
So now we're going to place our candles under our fortunes to reveal them.
I think this is a good time to also say that kids,
Don't try this at home.
don't do this. Maybe have your parents.
You can do this as long as you have an adult to help you with it.
And well, I know what mine is. Okay, the unicorn in me has brought a thing of water.
I'm gonna put this down, and I'm gonna help Kat.
Oh, I already see hers.
Jeez. Beware of free tacos.
Wow, that seems like a pretty
That look-
good fortune to
Show
me.
the camera. It really does work. It's really cool.
But you have to be careful, otherwise you're
Very
gonna,
careful. And
You're gonna
maybe
get a fire on your hands.
also not an indoor activity as well, I would say.
Yeah.
For the little witches out there. Do it outside. Make sure there's water nearby.
Make sure you have an
An
adult
adult.
with you. What was my fortune?
Yours must have been the one. I think we all got the ones we wrote. Because mine was you will be eaten by a dragon.
Mine says beware of free tacos.
Taco. Beware of free taco.
Beware of free
I
taco.
honestly can't.
So what was yours?
I don't know.
Your
Shall we try again?
Oh, okay, that's working a lot better. So maybe not the candle, maybe use a lighter.
Here's your fortune.
A
think
a
that's a
dragon will
dragon.
eat you.
Yes.
Please don't eat me.
I can't promise anything.
Alright, so that game was fun. And again, we probably have said this a lot, but we can't emphasize it enough. Adult supervision required if you're a little witch. And I am, so I have my adult friends to supervise me. On to the next game. For our last game, we're going to play a classic, Bobbing for Apples. All you'll need is a tub of water and some apples. You can even add some food coloring if you want the water to look a little extra spoopy. For our last game, we'll be doing a Halloween classic, Bobbing for Apples. I don't even need to explain it, you guys know. So, let's go ahead and get started.
Can I go first?
Yes,
I
you.
want to say I've been looking forward to this all day.
Oh, well, I'm glad. Let's go ahead and do that.
Okay, great. I will remove.
Oh, is that a biological thing that
Yeah.
you can like remove it?
It's like, you know how like alligators have that skin flap to go over their eyes?
Yeah.
I think it's see? It's like my neck flap.
Wow, dragoncorns are very interesting.
We are.
You're
Yes.
the first of your breed, correct?
I am, yes. We'll get into that later. Alright.
Tempting, I know. Yay! You did it! Keep your apple. For sanitary reasons. I've never bought for apples, so just putting that out
Shall I
there.
hold back your hat for you?
Yeah, please do that.
Your hair?
Here we go. Tuck in my pumpkin necklace. Let's do this.
You got that. I'll grab her hair.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you. We're
Okay.
such good friends.
Were you gonna shove my head?
Oh, this is
I
harder
don't know
than
what you're talking
look.
about.
Yes, she was gonna shove your head. Does this count?
Yeah, that's what I did.
No, go ahead.
That's
You
exactly
got
what I
it.
did. Yeah, you got it. You're good.
Oh.
It's your apple.
Thank you.
Here you go.
Okay. You got it.
Oh, she's going for
Ah,
the suction method.
Oh, okay.
You know, I thought you'd be really good at this, Jazz. You have such a big mouth. The towel.
I got it. The deed is done.
Congratulations.
You won an apple.
Thanks.
So in this game, everybody wins because I mean, if you get an apple, then you have an apple. So an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Can we eat it?
Yeah. Healthy candies. Nature's candy. Well, it's been great. But now the party's done, so get out of my house.
Jeez, okay.
I'm kidding. We're gonna stay up late partying, but I'm sure all of you have to go get to bed because you have school in the morning, or I don't know. Wait. I just realized something. You're usually manning the camera. Who's recording this?